Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Hey, babe, guess what?
My name is Bryan.
And my name is Cora, and we will be your hosts today. Before we get started, we would like to remind any of you listening to hit the like button and subscribe if you liked what you heard and saw during this episode. Please make a comment in the show notes if you enjoyed this episode and be sure to share it with your friends. So let's get into it, babe.
Okay, so you and I have had lots of different talks on lots of different occasions
Yep.
um, about what we've been blessed with and that feeling of gratitude and how it's a very slippery slope to get started on that negative thinking. It's like a trap, right?
Yeah.
You think one negative thing, it goes to another negative thing, and pretty soon that's what you're hunting down, right? I think the one of the analogies that I give you and probably most people, I mean, I'd use this analogy a ton. If your dad or your grandpa was in Vietnam and they come back from Vietnam, do you want to view them as a war hero, as a hero, or do you want to view them as a baby killer? Because probably both are true, right? In Vietnam, it was horrendous. It was horrible.
Ugh.
So how do you want to view that person? And so some people, of course, when guys came back from Vietnam, they spat on them and were upset and pissed. And of course, family members and stuff really try to show them that they appreciate them. So it's the same person, but two different viewpoints. The same person, but two different perspectives. And so that focusing on gratitude and focusing on positivity, we talked about mindset in an earlier podcast, and this is very, very similar. It's having that mindset of gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation, and understanding what you are blessed for and understanding the blessings that you have, and trying to look and view at things not in a negative way but in a positive way. So that's what we're going to try to touch on today.
I love that. I had, um, you know, just like you, we had kind of like a very challenging like upbringing. I don't know if you call it upbringing, but um, I think as an adult, and it makes you have a lot of gratitude for the wonderful things that have come into our lives. Um, and actually, I think sometimes it's hard to, you know, find the gratitude when you're so low and depressed. Cause, I've been depressed the past couple of years. You've witnessed it. And it's hard. You have to really, when you're in that really low, depressed state, it's hard to pull out. And so to even look around and see that you have so much to be grateful for. And um, it's, it's not easy. It's like, people.
Well, and the big problem is it's a snowball effect, right? I mean, everybody understands what the snowball effect is. The little tiny snowball starts at the top of the hill, and it's maybe the size of a tennis ball, but as it rolls down the hill and picks up size and picks up speed, pretty soon it's massive. And that's any type of thinking that you do, any type of practice that you do. Once you do something once, twice, 5 times, 20 times, it just gets easier and easier and easier, and pretty soon you get stuck in that trap. So, the more often you can practice and consciously and intentionally try to refocus yourself and make sure that you're steered in that direction. I think that general practice, anything that you practice, gets a little easier. Of course, like you said, if you're depressed and you're in that hole, and it just gets easier and easier to get farther and farther in the hole.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult situation, can be.
Yeah. I know that to get out of it, which, I still have bouts of depression. Like I can easily be pulled into it. And I think I was telling you, my anxiety will drive me there. It's like la la la. Anxiety is going to take me right to depression town. So, um, I think I was telling you it's going to go down that spiral, like around the corners, everything, I'm going to be like, You know,
Yes.
Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. I'm gonna be like, whoosh. I'm just gonna like drift right into it so fast. Um, so yeah, my anxiety, she's not my friend. Um,
Well, would you assess about yourself so you're also dealing with menopause?
yes, I am. Yes, I
I
am.
would certainly guess it'd be fair to say that menopause could magnify
Oh,
those things,
oh,
right?
hell yeah. Oh, sorry, I said the H word. Yes, it is really, and I just looked up and there was more. I experienced something the other day. And I'm like, looked it up. It's another menopause symptom. Literally, I went downstairs and told Julia, and I'm like, my face was feeling kind of tingly, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? I was like, what's happening? My jaw feels tingly. Am I having a heart attack? Is this is like okay? Because the symptoms are the same. I'm looking it up. Another symptom. You know how long I'm seriously going when we do the menopause episode. I'm gonna write them all down. The ones that I've experienced compared to, the list,
Is that
because
going to
there's
be
a
like a
list.
4-hour episode?
Yeah, it's gonna be a two-parter too. So it's gonna be 8 hours. But yeah, so the tingly face thing, and I was just like, what in the world? Because every time this is terrible because of my age and because I've gained weight and because of a lot of stress, and I should try to reduce the stress. But I have to look up now. Is this a heart attack symptom or is this a menopause symptom? And most times, 90%, same symptom, same symptom. So I have to look up, when do I know? When should I go into to the hospital? When do I differentiate the difference? I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, I'm not going to the doctor just when I can look it up on Google, please. It's like, sorry. It's so confusing. It's a really crazy, windy road, and you're like, "What? Where am I?"
So
I'm in Menopauseville.
I'm guessing the answer to your question is yes, menopause can magnify those negative thoughts.
Yes, 100%. And I, the craziest part is I'm pretty sure I was experiencing perimenopause, like, probably my late 40s, so you had already known me. But, I I lost my train of thought. But, yeah, it's all part of it. It's, this is what I was gonna say. Last year when I got COVID, which, I was dodging the bullet for so long, I was just like, oh, I didn't like, I was like avoiding humans, and I don't go anywhere, and I stay home, and I'm not gonna, how am I gonna catch this thing? You know what I mean? And I got the shot, which kind of wish I didn't get it, but, um, so I get COVID, then I get long COVID. And then after long COVID, I'm like, wait, why is this continuing? Like, what is all this stuff? But then everything from all of that, I like the depression came in heavy. I was already a little bit depressed before that. Well, not a little bit, a lot. And then it just kept compounding and just started like adding. And it's like nothing, I did nothing to alleviate. I did nothing to help myself. I only seeked out help through Google. I didn't actually, you know what? I did. I got therapy, remember? I did, and I got like medication, but for some reason, it didn't work for me. I did one of those online therapy. It wasn't that Better You or whatever. It was like some different one that I found. And remember I told you, I'm like, "Oh, I'm talking to my therapist today." I was so excited. Um, but I for some reason, the medication, I don't know if I wanna say the name. It didn't work for me, and I
Go
don't
ahead.
know if it was because of the dosage, and it's supposed to help. It's like Wellbutrin, and I had taken it consistently, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those people it doesn't work on. So I remember you would tell me, you need to get fresh air, you need to get sunlight, you need to work out, you need to drink water, you need to eat nutritional foods. And you're like, give it time, it'll help. And I still didn't do all those things. But you know what? I'm less depressed, even though I've kind of like, um, I'm not as social as I used to be. And with staying home like a bunch, I got comfortable with that, you know? And then I tell myself, I don't have to go out. Like, cause I think the pressure to go out and be social, like, put me more in of a depressive state. But during all of that, having my grandchildren, I think, okay, being a grandma, I just love it. Like, I know that it's like one of my favorite things is being a grandma. It's so fun to play with my grandkids, and they're so hilarious and cute. And like that was kind of like sunshine to me. Like when I was playing with them and like, you know, just like they're so funny and hilarious. They crack me up. Um, and then looking forward to like um our FaceTime, I would always look forward to that because you would work and I wouldn't be able to bug you until the evening.
Well, when you called me during work, I tried to answer.
Yeah, and I would call you just because I wanted to hear your voice. And for me, I think I would bug Bryan at work, you guys. I think it helped to like reset me for the day to help me. That's just to hear your voice. And when I was having a really hard time, I would be like, oh, I have to hear your voice. So I would have to call you and then I would feel better. And I'm like, okay, now I can actually like get through the day kind of thing. It's like, because it was hard. It was just so hard pulling yourself out. And so I would have to say for gratitude, I was very grateful for you for helping me through it. Because if I didn't have that, like I would be like a bigger mess. So, and it's hard. It's hard when you don't, and for me to admit to you and ask for help, that's so hard for me to ask for help. Like I'm just definitely from my childhood, you know, don't want to ask anybody for help. And um I think like we both noted that my struggles in sub two is, like right now I can feel the heat in my chest right now rising just thinking about. So just anxiety is coming. Maybe it's a hot flash. I don't know. Let me put this fan on because I'm sweating right now. This is my favorite new thing, you guys. You can see that I'm sweating. Anyway, we noted that my struggles in sub two and was like part of my depression. I'm like, I joined when I was like really depressed. So I'm like, I don't know why I did that because this is like an action community. This isn't somebody, and I would be like, I would just be fly on the wall because I'm like, I kept thinking that I know this sounds crazy. Not something magical was going to happen, but I thought it's going to click where it's going to happen where but then I realized, and especially because Pace kept saying that it's, his one word is action takers, like everybody the people who are successful and take action and are consistent with their action. It doesn't matter how long it takes them, but they are consistent with their action. That's when they see results like you do for your work when you talk about work lesson stuff. And but one of the huge things he talks about too is like gratitude. Like he always talks about gratitude. So it's so great that you're this is one of our subjects, but
What's important, you got to remember anybody out there that doesn't realize that you're programming yourself all the time. I can't remember the study. I think it was on what was that? What was that movie? The Secret or something like that, and that showed the glasses of water And water molecules are the most easily affected element on the earth, and so they had all these positive things written on these glasses of water and negative things written on these glasses of water, and all the water came from the same thing. I mean, as far as the test went, everything was the same, so you couldn't say that, oh, that water came from Oregon and that water came from Washington. Everything was the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, the the structures when they looked under the microscope of the things where you wrote positive things on the water were amazing, beautiful, like these beautiful blues and whites, and the negative things, they were like these jagged negative. So anyway, and the point to the study was, we tell ourselves all the time we're 80% water. So if I tell myself I'm an idiot, well, what just happened? If I yell at you and I tell you you're an idiot, what just happened? It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
So um, positive thinking and being grateful and fully focusing and intentionally seeking out the things that you're blessed with, that certainly is going to be a better replacement than all the negative talk, right? So, if I can talk you up, you talk me up. I mean, I think we can both easily agree that that's going to be a good benefit for both of us. If
Yeah.
we're constantly calling each other names, we're yelling and fighting,
Mhm.
well, that's certainly going to have a negative effect, right? So, by focusing on, I had a situation when I go to Yuma, like around February or so. But anyway, from February, just a little bit ago, I didn't have a house, didn't have an apartment. I was basically, technically, from all definitions of the word homeless, I was homeless.
Yeah.
But man, I was thankful. I
Yeah.
had this
Yeah.
job. Was able to save money.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't need much anyway. I'm very basic. I'm a minimalist. But anyway,
You are.
you could easily get depressed. You could easily get upset. You could easily, all the things that you could do.
Yeah.
Well, I tried hard not to do that. And the things I could be thankful for, well, that's what I was going to be thankful for. You and I talk all the time. I go to the gym and I hurt every single day. I hurt.
Mhm.
I've been in pain probably since 1989. I don't think I've ever not had a day of pain, but I don't bitch and complain. I still go to the gym and I still get done what needs to get done. And it's just a practice. And I think what I was alluding to earlier is we program ourselves,
Yeah.
right? I think you and I talk about this all the time. I will stop myself often and say, I shouldn't say it this way. I'm probably better to say it this way. I probably shouldn't use this term. I should probably use this term. This
Always
one
do that.
probably isn't quite accurate. This one's going to be better because, words do have power. I can't say, Cora, catch on fire and you're going to catch on fire. Words don't have that kind of power,
Yeah.
but words definitely have power. So the more we can positively affect one another and the more I can positively affect myself, that's
Yeah.
going to have power. So all the self-talk, all the things we say, it all matters.
No, I think that's such a great um insight because I have to go back to when you said when you were in Yuma and you were kind of in a situation where you weren't, you know, you didn't have a home or a place to stay and stuff, and but you were so grateful for the things that you did have, like your job and a vehicle, and a lot of people don't have that. And so when we were talking, and we would talk every day, and when I would see you're just so positive and grateful, like it endeared me to you more, where it's not like you're living this huge, giant, lavish life and bragging about things and wearing designer stuff. That's somebody else's if they want to do that. But for me personally, I was attracted to how you were so like, you didn't waver. You were still the same person. And you're still even more so grateful for the things that you had because you know that a lot of people don't have that. And yeah, I was like it, like I said, it actually like endeared me to you more because I saw like, you're, I've been around a lot of different people, and they would and it actually helps that situation for you, helped me change my view of how I like for me for to not care what people think,
Get
because
out of that shallow, materialistic.
yeah, yeah. Trust me, I like nice stuff, but I am don't need I've had that all the different things. And for me, I think I don't know. I'm just not like that anymore.
Well, I don't think that I mean, I think it'd be fair to assess most people like nice things,
Yeah.
but I'm not defined, or I don't, I make a conscious effort. I don't allow those things to define me. I don't have to, I went on a date one time. This is many, many years ago. But for the first 30 minutes, the girl across the table was just telling me about how much this cost that she wore and where she bought this and this, whoever Kardashian wore this. And after 30 minutes, I'm like, God, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, I don't even care. I don't care what you're wearing. I don't care how much it costs. I mean, none of that means anything to me. I'm not dating your clothes.
Yeah.
I'm dating the person. So anyway, it obviously did not work out. But the point of the story is, I don't give two squirts of piss if your jacket costs $1,000. Mine cost me $20. I'm just as warm. So
Exactly.
to me, and again, if you want to go buy stuff, buy stuff. I like nice
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't think I have to drive around in a Mercedes for everybody to think I'm cool. I don't have to drive around or I don't have to have a house on the cliff in this neighborhood, and I don't have to have this kind of silverware and wear that name brand of clothes. And it doesn't mean anything because if you strip all that away, who are you?
Yeah.
What do you have to offer without all of that? That's what I'm interested in. And so I think positive thinking and being focused on gratitude and those kinds of things, if you strip those things away and you're a nice, bubbly, energetic, positive person, you don't need things. You certainly don't have to be defined by this, that, or the other. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses because that's not your focus.
Yeah.
It's very shallow. It's very empty, in my opinion, from my perspective. They don't, I mean, everything
I
wears
think
out.
I think if you have worked hard and you've earned it and that's what you want and you can provide it, and I think if you're like a generous human, like people like I feel like I think it's amazing when people open their homes to others and it's like if, and
Yeah.
like that kind of warm, welcoming kind of like family or community kind of thing. Like I think that's amazing when you share your um
The gifts you've been given.
exactly. Like I appreciate that when people are like that and they're so good-hearted and have such a huge heart. Like um like so if we had like a huge house, I would want to do that, I'd want to I mean, I wouldn't want people to move in for the love of God. But I mean, we're going to be a new couple. No. No. But you know what I mean? Like when my kids were growing up, like my daughter was telling me, she goes, they remember like they had so many like sleepovers and we had so many parties and all that stuff. And they love that. Like that's part of their child, like, cause we used to open up our house to different things. And me personally, I liked doing all that stuff. Like I love the entertainment side of it because I loved like, but on another hand, like with you, like I want us to just have a cozy little home, cozy, but I do want to make it cute though. So
That'll be up to you. I'm not the
yeah,
cute department. If anybody ever came to any of my houses that I lived in, so when I was in Marina, I had a small little apartment there when I was working in Salinas and living in Marina,
I
and
liked
I lived
it.
there for a year.
I know I liked your apartment.
And when they came to inspect when I was moving out, they're like, "Oh man, you must have taken a lot of time to clean." I'm like, "No, I haven't cleaned yet." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "No, I haven't. I mean, I just got all the stuff out, so now I have to clean." And they're like, "You didn't clean yet?" I'm like, "No, this is just how I live. I don't put things on the walls. I don't have pictures up.
Well,
I don't have decorations. I don't
well, it's
because
coming.
for me, I'm hardly ever home. First of all, I mean, I'm at the gym. I go to work. I come home for a couple hours. I go to sleep, and it's wash, rinse, repeat.
I know it
So,
can be cute when you're doing that, so
well, and I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like it, but it's just not one of those things that it's not a strength of mine. First of all, I'll probably never be a decorator. That's not my thing. I can tell you if I don't like something, but in most cases, fine. If you want to do this, that, put that up, whatever else. I mean, sure, that's cool, whatever.
yeah, you can help me do that stuff. And
And
if
I
I'm
think
ever
for some
gonna
people too, I think having especially for women, I would think, who like to nest,
yeah,
that's part of that positivity, right? Creating your nice positive environment, well, your castle, so to speak, right? Your
even
nest.
yeah,
So having it homey and comfortable and the way that you like it and to your taste and all that stuff. I mean, that's fine.
yeah, super
That's
excited.
that helps create a positive environment for you. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need it. I could sleep outside in a sleeping bag. Doesn't matter to me.
Um, I don't want to sleep outside in a sleeping bag, so I'm just gonna put it out there. Um, I would do a lot of stuff, but I'm not gonna do
Well,
especially
and I think the other piece too that I was thinking of earlier is, we both come from not really having much.
yeah,
I mean, I didn't really have anything. Um, Certainly grown up, material things just wasn't a thing. It's like we traveled or had money or went and did stuff or, we didn't, we weren't blessed that way. Um,
yeah,
so I think having that perspective is good for me. I mean, I fully am aware that I really don't need a lot and I'm fine with very, very little. So
yeah.
when I do have stuff, and once again, like you said, it's not like I don't like nice stuff. Typically, when I go buy something, it's going to be good.
And you're
And I
grateful,
really don't care what money I'm going to spend on it
bringing
because
back
that's the thing that I want. And I'm
yeah,
going to go buy it. And I've done
yeah,
my research and it's going to be probably good quality. And I'm going
mhm.
to have it until it absolutely disintegrates and falls apart. Clothes. Most clothes that I have, I've probably been wearing for 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. I
I
mean, you
mean,
take care, you're like, you take care of your things, and you're so incredibly like, I've never met anyone like you where you're because you're minimalist, you're grateful for, like and you take care of and um my story is that, I grew up just like you where we're poverty, struggle, abuse, the whole gamut. And then when I had moved to Oregon and, you know, meeting my children's, my ex-husband, we've struggled for a while, for a long time. But when he started making money and then he started making really good money and then he started making very good money, we had upgraded our home and he liked toys, which toys are just they're just like a waste of money. I'm just saying it's like a waste of money. But I had always had kind of like the mentality of like I was very like frugal, but then I was with a person who was very grandiose, and I don't think he liked my frugality. I used to shop at Winco, so
well, but at
we.
the same time, though, when I first met you,
Well, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm trying to get there if
oh, okay,
you will let me.
go for it.
So, although I had this kind of like frugal personality and I felt like I was like fighting against like all his toys and whatnot, um, he I had gotten used to a lifestyle of as he started making money, buying whatever I wanted and living the way I want. Every day for me was just like as the kids got older, I think I told you it was like, oh, what can I do for Cora today? Let me just get dressed up in these really nice clothes. What person am I going to use? What perfume? All the, and I don't know, what am I going to do today? Kind of like, let me just go shop. So I was so bored because I had nothing to do. So I would just go and shop. And, but then I would tell myself, well, I'm shopping at TJ Maxx. So the $500 I'm spending is not, I'm saving so much money because these items would have been, you know what I mean? Do
Yes,
you
I do
do
know
you
what you
see my
mean.
mind? So my frugal part is thinking I'm saving this money, but my spoiled part because I'm allowed to live this great life that he provided, which he's always a great provider, 100%. Um, so I'm just like, and then I'm so freaking bored because my kids are living their own lives. And I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I didn't do it. Like, I haven't like taken time to work on myself or figure out, oh, maybe I should get a job, or build skills towards getting a job. Or I think I volunteered doing different things, but I actually enjoyed volunteering because I was doing something that was like for others because I like doing things for other people. And so I didn't live in gratitude. I was just consuming. There's no gratitude. I probably didn't even have gratitude for um, my ex-husband because he and I had just gotten in a rut. When you stay in there, you just do your own schedule and you just, you know, make it work because we had kids together and you're married. And it's so weird. You get married and you ever like, sorry, I know we want to get married, but I'm just like, and you're connected to this person forever. And it's like, I think I saw something that was like, marriage should be like a 4-year subscription to see if you want to resubscribe at the end of 4 years. And if you don't, it's like, oh, unsubscribe. No, I don't want to. I want to cancel this subscription because,
Yeah, that's
um,
called dating.
yeah, but because marriages are like you're legally binded to that person. So I'm just saying,
That's why you date first.
well, no, not every, not it, not doesn't work out for everybody. I mean, for a large majority, it's like because people, nobody does work, has people like are aware of doing work now, more aware. And it's like something that's talked about more. Back then, like I told you, I said I didn't know the words emotional regulation went together. Like I didn't know
Well,
those were
part of
like,
that was also because birds of a feather flock together, so you weren't around people that
why?
that was their concentration and that was their goal and that was their focus. You were around
Yeah,
people that their focus was, hey, let's smoke cigars, let's spend money, let's treat you like an item, let's talk about what we bought, and let's focus on how much money we can and how grandiose. That was the focus, not
yeah.
self
And
improvement, not self awareness, not.
yeah, I actually recently, I think I told you, remember I said I'm trying to, um, I was trying to get back into like sub two again and be like incorporate myself and like it's the Facebook. It's very everybody's so amazing in that in sub two. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna comment on this one guy's like post, right? And so his name's Chad. He's such a nice guy, and he had said something, and I don't know. I have to go back and look at it, and I have to go stalk his page. Um, but for some reason, I don't know what compelled me to overshare. This is part of ADHD. Like I'll either undershare or overshare. I'll either not say nothing or I'll just like tell you everything. So I commented and I said, my I kind of gave him like a blurb into my life where I was just like, I felt like a prisoner in my home. I would look out I was living on this beautiful home up on this hill, overlooking the valley, and there's Mount Hood and it's like beautiful. I mean the whole like sweeping views, and but I was so sad and I was like felt like a prisoner in my own home. Um, and you can have so much like gratitude for being in that. I mean, in that house, God, I can still picture it. But like I didn't have gratitude. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, I tried. I tried to show my like my love and my like how much I appreciated the place and stuff and you know to my ex-husband. But it doesn't matter because the person I was with wasn't didn't want to receive the gratitude I wanted to give.
You can give it all to a wall, but the wall's not going to give it back.
Yeah, I seriously felt like I was talking to a wall. And you know what's so funny that you say that is I remember one time there was some kind of like party or something, and I was um, trying to talk to him or something, but he wasn't listening. So I actually went to this one corner in this one, like, the dining room area, and I faced the wall, and I was talking to the wall because I'm like, this wall, I feel like I would get more response from the wall. And it sounds kind of funny, but like, it's for me, it's like I had gratitude for the life that I had, but to give it back and say, in the thanks and all that stuff, like, wasn't like, that person didn't want that from me. I think I was just something to just, I was a thing to just, um, I
You were
wasn't
an
looked at
item.
as a person. And my children, they like, that's the thing that brought me joy was, and I know you're not supposed to, like, oh, only gather your joy from your children and stuff, but that was the only thing that kind of, that was the only anchor that kept me there was my kids. And I know a lot of women do that, or men stay in the marriages for that. And so I was just one of those people, one of those statistics. And I did have gratitude, even though I'm saying, I woke up and I was like, oh, let me just get dressed up and get my coffee and go try to save money at TJ Maxx, but overspend because I think I'm saving money. And because I'm a bored housewife. And my kids can drive and do all this stuff. So, I don't really see them anymore. But I had gratitude, but I was giving it to the wrong, like, it's not gonna, you know, it's like an empty vessel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and in today's world, would you say it would be fair to assess or to state? So when I first met you, it was interesting. I
Oh
was
man.
actually um, in the first couple hours, first hour, I had almost decided after a short little bit, I'm like, nah, she's not going to be it because it was just wealth. This, I'm wealthier than them. We have more money than
I don't
those.
even remember. I
Oh
didn't say
man,
stuff like that.
yeah,
I
you
didn't
did.
say I was wealthier than somebody else.
Yes, you did. Word for word.
Okay, I
I
don't
make
remember saying
this. They
that.
only bring in this. I know that I'm wealthier than them. And I was like, and
I
but
did
what I
not
had to do
I
for
didn't have
myself was,
income, so I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I didn't have income.
yeah, you got money from your ex-husband.
Yeah, but the divorce wasn't even, like, finalized, so I don't understand.
Well, whatever numbers you were throwing out, you were stating that whoever you were comparing yourself to, and I'm wealthier than them, so I don't know why they say this. And what
Oh,
I
I don't
thought
even
was,
remember
man,
that.
I don't know if I'm going to date somebody like that. But
Yeah,
what I
I don't
saw
remember saying
was,
that, so we can have this argument forever. I don't remember saying that. So
oh,
people are
great.
gonna love this part because we're arguing right now, and I don't remember saying that.
Okay.
So
Well, you did.
I didn't have income, so I don't understand how I can say that.
Okay.
You might be
I hear you.
confusing me with your other girlfriend.
Okay. I hear you. But anyway, moving forward, you did say it. At first, I remember assessing that and thinking, having to remove what I knew was surface was this. It was almost like I knew it was a show. I knew it was this, that you had been in this environment where that was the MO, that this is probably all the people you were around and all the people you surrounded yourself and all of your environment. This was the type of dynamic that existed. And I thought, well, I think I see something underneath that. And that's what I stayed for. And ultimately, as time has moved forward and we've talked more and we've worked through more, the more, in my opinion, the more real you came out and the more genuine you came out. And that facade that you put on, that pretend person that you created to survive that environment, wore off. And as we've talked many times, I think we even mentioned in one of the previous podcasts, you would still complain a lot and gripe a lot. I think you said you got it from your grandma.
Yeah.
And I remember stating on a lot of occasions, man, you have so much to be thankful for. We, And I remember tons of times saying, we're not going to
I
work
was saying
out. We're
that.
so different. We're so this, we're so that. And I would say, well, wait a minute. We have, even in the dynamic we have for as short as we've known each other, we have tons to appreciate and tons to look at. That's very, very positive. You're bringing up one thing, and I could bring up 20 things that are positive, and you'd know we're so different. And then, of course, now 5 years later, you've kind of
Well,
come around, and now um, are more in that positive thinking, gratitude mind state, more focused in that direction. And I think, in my opinion, I think that's also what helps people get out of that depression, right? I think when I'm doing bad, I think
mhm,
I know I'm doing bad. I think when I'm not operating at full, when I'm not trying to operate at full capacity to good, I think your body and your mind feel that. So if I'm doing a bunch of crap that I know that I shouldn't be doing, I'm probably more than likely going to feed depression. I'm going to feed negativity because I know that I'm not doing right. I
yeah,
know that I'm not doing what I should be doing. If I'm out stealing stuff, I know I'm out stealing stuff. I know stealing's wrong. So it's going to be easier for me to be down on myself because I'm not performing at the level that I know that I should perform at. So over time, I think what happened is I think you shed a lot of that kind of shallow materialistic crap,
yeah,
moved more towards your authentic, genuine self.
I feel
And
that.
I think as I've watched you, it has appeared from my perspective that as you've tried to appreciate, be more grateful, um, refocus your gaze in that direction. And I'm not saying menopause still doesn't affect you, but I think in general, I think that's kind of pulled you out of the hole sometimes and bolstered and supported a more positive outlook, a more positive feeling. You're more happy, more bubbly, things like that.
Yeah. I think, I don't wanna list my struggles of recent, but I've been knocked down, like, several rungs in life, like, I've had to really, um I'm not living, like, the same life that I had then, like, and we'll just say I'm not in the same financial situation. I don't wanna go into details because it's, like, that's, like, super personal, but, um, with you, when you were, like, you said moving to when you were in Salinas or Marina, and then you moved to Yuma, and seeing how you are still so grateful for everything and so thankful, and I think with what I was going through, that really um, it helped me realize that you can be grateful for so like the tiniest things, and it's like I was thankful for just like the tiniest things in life, not the
Uh-huh.
the big things, because there it's been the past couple years have been such a struggle, and like I said, I've been knocked down several rungs, and it it just makes you take stock of like, well, what are you really thankful for and grateful for in life? And I feel so fortunate to be able to still um, provide a home for my daughter and my grandchildren, and to be able to cook meals for them, and to still be physically able to do these things, and
Uh-huh.
to have an amazing partner who still loves me and supports me. Um,
What's his name?
and when you brought me to Grand Cayman this past summer, like that was like so like I felt like I needed that, like I definitely needed to see you. Um, but it felt like it was so renewing to me and for our relationship to see like I didn't need to be treated, but when I told you I couldn't go and you're just like, I want you to come, I'm gonna, and so for me, I was like, okay, that was like it's just like one of those things that was kind of like uplifting that you wouldn't, you don't expect these things, but and we had such a great time that it's such a good like memory for me, memories. But oh, trust me, I'm totally grateful for like, being able to stand in that thing with the turtles. And like, I don't think they were gonna get me, but he kept making them think they were gonna get my toenail polish, my toes, my. I thought he was gonna get them, and I'm like, I was so afraid they were gonna get me, but
Yeah, they're turtles. They're not going to get you.
yeah. Um. So yeah, just being grateful, and not just like for things, but just for your support, your presence, and your support. I think that's like so like I said, just being able to talk to you, hearing your voice, and I think it helps reset. And I think a great partner will do that.
Well, I think in relationship, I think that's one of the important pieces that people in general, I think, I don't know what the divorce rate is, 60, 70, 80%. I mean, it's huge, right? Tons of people get divorced. And in my opinion, you can almost listen to all the stories and they're all very similar. They went over time. They had the honeymoon phase. This was great. That was great. Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, the work should have started. And this person didn't want to work. And after, well, I was busy and I was working here. And when we had the kids, and we had what has to happen in relationship is in a successful, happy, healthy relationship, you have to wake up every morning. You have to look at that person, say, I love them. I choose to be with them. I choose to give it my best today. I choose to try to build and support and nurture this thing that I'm choosing to be in. Their happiness is not my responsibility, but I certainly want to contribute to it. It's up to me to be happy, healthy, bring that to the table, and with a positive mindset, look at that person every day and make them my hero, not the bad guy, not make the lawyer file, not start saying, oh, well, he ties his left shoe first and he doesn't like spaghetti and I like this movie and he doesn't like that movie, and all those trivial little things that people start picking apart to try to build that lawyer file, because now all of a sudden they're concentrating on the negative, and they're going to take that snowball, and that snowball is going to go from the size of a tennis ball to the size of a mountain, and they're just going to build and build and build on the negative. You can
Mhm.
take the different path. Don't take the left, take the right, and say, man, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. I love her voice. I think she's sexy. I think blah, blah. You can, the same choice exists. Either you're going to choose to go down this path or you're going to choose to go down this path. Whatever you put your effort into, whatever you put your focus to, that's what you're going to build.
Yeah.
So if you, in relationship, celebrate the victories, celebrate the good things, try to focus and find the good things. And I'm not saying being oblivious. I'm not saying ignore red flags. I'm not saying don't deal with bad things, because there's always bad things, and that exists. And don't operate with your head in the clouds or in the sand. Be with your eyes wide open.
Be present.
But there is a ton of good that you can find every single day, because every person out there is pretty amazing. They all have their amazing story. They all have their struggles that they've survived. They've come from point A to point B. And if you want to appreciate that, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
And you can build them, and you can support them, and you can help further whatever they're going to do in life and in that relationship. Or you can tear it down.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great way to end our podcast. I love that, babe.
Well, I'm here all day.
And thank you for those compliments. I don't know if they were meant for me, but I'm figuring somebody out there. No, I have to say that I'm very grateful for you. So thank you for
Well,
being who you are.
however it came to pass, everything happens for a reason. In my opinion, that's what I believe. I believe everything happens for a reason. It's
Yeah.
taken 5 years for a reason. Whatever path you had to take to get here, I guess it must have been important. I think you and I have talked. You've been gifted with certain examples and certain lessons along the way. Those are probably very, very important.
Thank you for putting it that way.
You're still learning. I'm still learning. But I think if we can, everybody out there, not just you and I, but everybody out there, if you can try to shift and try to think more positive than negative, one, you're going to be happier with yourself, right? Because of what that just does inside your body. There's a thing that I watched, and these two people are sitting across from each other.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy that's like, say he's across the street, let's say, and he can't hear what's going on. He can only see what's going on. And they have all these electronics hooked up to these people. And so this guy gives the woman a gift. And when she receives that gift, all this good stuff happens. I mean, they measure all this stuff. The guy giving the gift, he wasn't the gift receiver, he was the gift giver. All
Yeah.
the same things happened. All these amazing things, positive. Well, the guy across the street, who's not even a part of it, all he does is witness it and watch it. All the same good things happen.
Yeah.
So my point to that is we can affect ourselves, we can affect others. Certainly, if we're going to try to concentrate and push for more positivity, more gratitude, more thankfulness, more appreciation, I mean, it certainly can't hurt, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know that there's a whole lot of studies out there that would say that that hurts anything.
Yeah.
But I think there's plenty of studies out there that suggest and prove that negativity is just not the best thing and it can hurt and whatever else. So
Yeah.
that's our spiel, people. Be positive.
Be
That's the
positive
soapbox.
and
Preach it from the mountaintop. All
I
right, we're
like
going to
that.
close this one out.
Yeah.
All right. So since we're going to close it, we would like to thank everybody out there watching and listening to us today. For those of you that would like to get in touch with us, go ahead and leave some comments or something down below. If you guys want some kind of a certain topic or something for us to talk about, feel free to put it in there and we'll try to go check and we'll try to put that in the mix. Feel free to give us a review. Don't forget to follow us on any of the favorite streaming things like Spotify and YouTube and all that. And that way you can stay up to date on the latest news and episodes. Thanks for sharing our journey. And we'll see you all in the next episode.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Love you, babe.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.